part 2. Back in March, I did a video where I asked for you guys to ask me any questions that you guys wanted and I would answer. And then at the end of the video, I would pick a winner on who I thought asked the best question, and then that winner would get a prize. Well, today I'm doing part 2. A couple of days ago, I put a thread on Twitter and several of you guys asked me a ton of good, really good questions. Later on in the video, I'm going to pick the best question and then that person will be able to pick which product they want. I have a Jeffree Star Blood Sugar palette. I have a KKW Beauty Mario palette. I also have Lauralee's favorite brush collection that she created with Morphe. So the winner will get to be able to pick which one they want of those 3 items. Okay, let's just jump into it because I'm very, very excited. And you guys had some really, really good questions. The first video I will link up here in the corner. I did get a little bit emotional in that video just because I speak about my stepdaughter's death. She passed away a year ago in April, and so this one I'm not going to be talking about that because I don't want to get emotional, but yeah, I'm excited about this. This is going to be fun. Okay, so the first question is from Sumi. I love her. She's so sweet. What motivates you to do YouTube, and what do you do when you feel unmotivated to make content? Truthfully, I have not reached that point yet. I haven't been doing it very long, and so for me, I haven't really reached that like threshold that I know some YouTubers reach. You know, after you've been doing it for like a year or two, sometimes you just don't feel that you are motivated to create content. For me, I've only been doing this since December, so I haven't reached that point yet, and it's actually something that I look forward to every single day. Whether I'm filming, whether I'm editing, or my most favorite part is when I upload a video and you guys are all commenting and I get to comment back and forth with you guys. So for me, I haven't reached any of those moments where I don't feel motivated. I've had moments where I'm either reviewing a product that I don't like or I'm trying to make something work and I get frustrated, but as far as motivated for content, I haven't reached that. I'm always motivated. That is the reason why I like to upload 4 days a week. It's super fun, and yeah, I have a blast doing it. So the second question is from Beverly Blair. I love her. She is a makeup addict like I am. What could you do with $2 million to impact the most amount of people? I had $2 million and I could put it wherever I could help. I would probably help our inner cities here in America that really struggle with poverty, and I would help them with education, and I would help them, you know, have some kind of after school programs. For example, and this is just an example, I hear this a lot, you know, people look down on gangbangers and they say, well, they're just gangbangers, but you have to also remember when you're born in that, you don't know any other life. And so I try not to judge people who are in that, even though they break the law and even though they're doing all these things. A lot of it is survival. And so I would try to help children in our inner cities and try to get them some kind of after school program to let them know that they don't have to go to the streets. And I know that a lot of women are burying their children from violence in the streets, and I would try to do something along that line. I know that my first instinct goes to help children in other countries, but then I think, wait, we have so many broken parts in America that need to be fixed, but I would like to do some kind of after school program for children in inner cities. Saya Style, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but she asked, how do you see the makeup industry panning out in the future? In parentheses, she said, I saw you collaborating your custom foundation, the way of the future. And what could they do better in your opinion? What she's referring to is this Bare Minerals. Basically, I was using my app on my phone. App on the phone calibrated my perfect shade. To boil that down, she's basically saying, what do I think they could do better in the foundation? And what she's talking about is the foundation shade ranges. I'm glad that finally the topic of inclusivity is being spoke about. People, you know, brands are starting to become aware of being inclusive if we as the consumer hold them accountable. I think it's amazing that a lot of YouTubers have been doing it, not because it's cool to do it, not because that's kind of the thing now to be inclusive. No, they actually mean it. They actually mean, hey, this isn't acceptable. And I don't think it's acceptable when brands are not inclusive in their shade ranges. Now, I'm not expecting 40 shade ranges, but what I'm expecting is an equal amount of really, really light, because I'm finding out from a lot of my really fair subscribers, they struggle with shade ranges. So it seems like the extremely fair and the darker skin tones are kind of being kept out of the loop in the whole foundation shade range issue. I think brands just really need to step up to the plate and stop making excuses and do what the consumers are asking for. And the only way that they're going to do it is that if we keep talking about it and we don't stop talking about being inclusive. If we had a scanning machine, like I went into Estee Lauder last year, you guys, and the lady walked around and scanned my face, and then she ended up giving me this is for the double wear. She gave me the 3-in-1 beige, and it matched perfect. So I know that there's scanning machines out there. It would be great if we had something like that, you know, all over it, like Sephora and Ulta and all that. And I'm sure that's going to be out in the next 5 years. We need to hold brands accountable like we are. We need to continue the topic. We need to get louder, and we need to hold them accountable every single time. I'm very proud to see that nobody let Beauty Blender get away with that shade range they just dropped last week. That shade range was terrible, and I mean, I hope that they get it. I hope that they understand that it just is not acceptable anymore. But the only way that they're going to change is that if we keep pushing them and we keep letting our voices be heard. Okay, Emily asks, if your channel could do one thing to impact the world in a positive way, what would it be and why? Love your channel, Tara. Oh, love you too, Emily. You're so sweet. I know I have a small channel where I'm just enjoying playing with makeup and getting to know all of you guys. But if I ever reached a level like some of these other YouTubers, you know, I would love to be able to have some kind of impact on child sex trafficking, because that is something for me that just really hurts me deep, deep, deep. And it's actually something that I pray most about as far as what goes on in the world. And I think if I could have some kind of impact, that's where my focus would go, is to help these girls that have went into this whole sex trafficking and help them come out of it and help them feel beautiful again, because they're broken. They come out of those just slaved and broken. And I don't think we talk enough about sex trafficking. And they do it with little boys too. It's not just girls. But if I could, I would, you know, do some kind of foundation where I helped those girls come out of those situations and help them feel beautiful again, and, you know, help them get into a program to get them help. And, you know, they go through so much that we don't even ever understand, and that's probably where my focus would be. So my friend Nabin Chillin, I love her name. I don't say it as cool as it looks written, but you know, she asked, have you ever been bullied? Yes, I have. When I was a sophomore and junior, I had these two girls that really, really, really bullied me, and they were actually really mean. And the one girl had my name. Her name was Tara as well. And man, they were mean to me. Now it's funny because the one girl I've seen, and we've talked later on after high school, and she's super nice to me now. But in high school, they were brutal. And I was kind of in a semi-popular group. I wouldn't say I was super popular. I was kind of in that like even type deal. I was friends with some popular people, and I was friends with some of the unpopular people. I was just kind of like in the middle, and because I let them do it, they kept doing it and doing it and doing it. Then when I became a junior, it got worse, because over my sophomore year, I kind of developed, and I went from like a size A to like a size C in a cup size. So everybody kind of bullied me for that. They were like, holy crap. They were kind of big for my size. I was like 100 pounds in high school, so they were out of control, and I got bullied for it. Yes, and it sucked. It was not fun. I actually, one time I was in a grocery store, and this older guy, I was probably 17. This older guy I don't know, he's probably in his 40s. He said, I was in front of him, and he said, hey, has anybody ever told you your nose looks like a ski slope from the side? I was like, no, but thanks. But see, those types of comments really stick with people. And so yes, I was bullied and it sucked. I try to treat people with respect. If people attack me, I used to attack back. Now I try to attack with kindness versus getting mean back. I have no patience or tolerance for bullying. I think it's horrendous. Okay, Allie asked, if you were to start your own makeup brand, what would the theme be, title, what would you focus on, and what would your company's values be? Okay, this is a fantastic question, Allie. The theme would definitely be geared towards skin and aging. I'm all about helping us women that are, you know, aging look and feel good about ourselves. I would say something along the lines of skin, whether it be foundation, concealers, you know, stuff like that. But that's probably what my focus would be first. Maybe a little bit of skincare. What would my company's values be? If I had a big brand, I would really, really want to hire women who are single mothers, who are working their butts off to take care of their babies. That's kind of where my company's values would be. It would just be about helping women and helping women feel and be the best that we can be. Okay, Abir Fadali? I probably said that wrong. It's a beautiful name, but I probably totally said it wrong. Hi, Tara. I absolutely adore your content, so please keep up the work you're doing. She says, my question is, if you want to release a makeup line in the future, what are the mistakes that you think other brands made and that you would not be repeating? Love you. Oh, love you too, sweetie. Oh, you're so sweet. I would include everybody, and I would not be stealing anybody's campaigns. I would not be stealing anybody's hard work. Yeah. I mean, I know people make mistakes, but it's what you do after the mistake that counts. And some of these brands I'm starting to get a little bit disgusted with, almost where I've never really wanted to boycott in my channel just because I kind of wanted to keep my channel more just about beauty and keeping all the drama out of it. But it's almost getting to me to the point where it's kind of aggravating, and I'm thinking, no. Some of this stuff, I just don't know if you can let it slide. Some of these companies are really ticking me off, and, you know, I would never steal somebody else's stuff and then not give them any credit and pretend that I don't even know that I did it. Bottom line, I would definitely be inclusive 100%. Missy asked, if you were responsible for Huda, press, social media, how would you have handled the baking kit fiasco and why? I would have apologized like that. Beauty Bakery's owner admitted on camera, on a Facebook Live, Instagram Live, she admitted that Huda Beauty, their brand, reached out to Beauty Bakery last fall and asked for a PR kit. A PR kit. Okay, why would you need a PR kit? That's my question first, because maybe that just happens. But Beauty Bakery, she was super excited about it. She was like, yay, Huda Beauty's reaching out to us? Oh my gosh. I mean, they've been working this business for 7 years. And so they were very excited when Huda Beauty reached out to them. So now we're finding out the Huda Beauty brand has been lying to everybody, and they basically stole the campaign. They stole the idea, they named it, and I understand, okay, everybody says, okay, well, it's not that big of a deal because it is baking powder. We've been all calling it baking powder. So it's easy to pull that theme of saying, okay, this is baking powder, let's make it into a baking, like we're gonna bake a cake. I totally get that, 1000%. But when you start looking at all the pictures and you start seeing so many of the similarities, and then when everybody starts raising a fuss about it, they are silent until Jeffree Star says something. They were silent even after Jackie Ina mentioned it on her YouTube channel. She mentioned it like a week or two ago, and they didn't say a word until Jeffree Star said something. Bottom line is, I think that the owners of Beauty Bakery are amazing, and I wish I loved their foundation, you guys, because I would be shoving it down your guys' throat every every single video. I watched her live video and I was so impressed with that lady and her ability to be kind, even though she's been done so wrong and so dirty and she knows it. But she was so beautiful in that video. If you guys haven't seen it, highly recommend it. I think Jeffree Star tweeted it a couple of days ago. It is the CEO of Beauty Bakery is amazing. To answer your question, Missy, that whole shit show, if I was in charge of that, the second that I announced my baking powder, my baking product, okay, I would have said, we were so inspired by Beauty Bakery taking the whole baking and taking that and creating this baking thing, we decided to do the same thing. Like, there is nothing wrong with Huda Beauty taking ideas from other brands and doing what they want. But when you don't give any credit and then you steal their concept and you steal everything and you don't acknowledge it, I don't know that I will ever review a product of Huda on my channel. I'm getting close. I wanted to keep my channel as drama-free as I could, but I'm close, you guys. That ticked me off. When you hear the CEO of Beauty Bakery side, it's a whole other ball game, kids. It's a whole other game. And it ticks me off. They handled it so poorly, and they're still to this day handling it poorly. Huda has wrote all this stuff on Instagram, and then she keeps deleting it, and then they created a video showing their beautiful campaign, and then they deleted it. It's like they don't even know what they're doing because they know that they did wrong. And like I always taught my kids, I'm going to leave it here, but like I always told my kids, when you do something wrong, it's not about the mistake. It's what you do after the mistake that counts. You need to fix it. And you need to acknowledge what Beauty Bakery did. You need to acknowledge just how awesome they are and how grown up they are. Don't get me started. That was, I was so angry. But let me just say, Beauty Bakery, hats off to you guys because you guys are killing it. Lynn asked, if you were stranded with 2 makeup products, what would you have with you? I absolutely adore you, hun, and thank you for the bonus video. Oh, that was sweet. Mascara and concealer. Yes, those 2 can't live without. Those 2 I could not live without. That is a great question. Okay, my sweet Wendy, she asked, what social stigma does society need to get over? I think social stigmas, probably I would say mental illness for sure. I think mental illness is a major issue in America, and I think we need to be more loving towards people who have mental illness and understand that they suffer and sympathize with their suffering. It's almost like if somebody has cancer, you immediately sympathize with them. But if somebody says that they suffer with depression, you're like, oh, okay, well, you're just being lazy. That's probably the social stigma that I would like to end, because I have a family member that suffers with severe mental depression. And to watch his life, the way it has unfolded, it's absolutely heartbreaking. And I know without a shadow of a doubt, if he could change it, he would like that. He can't. He can't control it. So that's probably the social stigma that I would want to end if I could. Beverly Williams asked, what was your first impression of your husband? Love your channel, by the way. Thank you. You guys are going to laugh, you guys, but I totally thought my husband was gay when I first met him. I'm not lying. He knows this. We've laughed about it 100 times. I will put a picture up here of what he looked like and what I looked like when I was 21 and when I met him. And I totally thought he was gay. He was so like metrosexual, and I didn't really grow up with a lot of men like that. A lot of the men I grew up with were like rugged, small town farm boys. They didn't look as good as he did, and so I totally thought he was gay. Totally 100% thought he was gay. So funny. I love that question. It's so awesome. Wendy also said, I have one more. When was the last time you were snooping and found something you wished you hadn't? Oh, goody gumdrop. One of my family members who I'd really loved and adored and helped her so much, I had a feeling to check her phone because I felt like she was kind of talking nasty about me. And it was so against my behavior to check phones and like be snoopy that way. And I did, and what I found pretty much ended our relationship, and it's been 4 years now, and it's heartbreaking, and I wish I wouldn't have seen it. I would have rather, it was so painful and so hurtful that she betrayed me in that way that I would love to go back, and I wish I didn't know. So yeah, that sucks. So my sweet Jessica Brown, I love her. I love you. You're my sweetest. What kind of advice would you give a preteen about makeup? What products and what type of makeup application? Now, it depends on what kind of skin issues they're having. If they're having a lot of acne, probably help them not with makeup, because sometimes makeup can irritate acne. I learned that with my own acne issues. I would probably help them get clearer skin, but on a preteen situation, I don't think preteens should be wearing a lot of makeup, maybe some mascara. I'm not big on preteens wearing makeup. My daughter didn't start wearing makeup. It was her 9th grade, her freshman year is when she started wearing makeup. And all she wears now is mascara and some concealer. So under her eyes, she doesn't like wear full makeup. And I think less is more, and when you're younger, I feel like letting your face just be very beautiful and being very naturally pretty. You have your whole life to play with makeup. I think there's nothing wrong with playing with makeup. Preteens, I just think that it should be a very small amount. Less is more. Jessica said, if you had 10 million subscribers, whew, what kind of content would you share with your subscribers? Ooh, that's a lot. I have no idea. Probably the same kind of content. They'd just be listening to me blab. I don't know. That would be so intimidating to have 10 million people. Wow. That would be interesting though. Woo. LeBlanc Aza asked, if you had the opportunity to collaborate with any YouTuber, who would you consider and why? So I would say Chris and Dominique, because I absolutely love her. I think she's so sweet. Tati, again, I love Tati because I do feel that kindness. From both of them, kindness. You know, you just get that, like, they're kind. And then, for fun, hands down, Jackie Ina. I love her. She's so funny. Jackie. I want to, like, do that with her because I love her. And I want to wear her wigs because she has the best wigs on YouTube. Yeah. Totally those three, hands down. Naven Chillin asks, what's your proudest moment as a mom? Oh, I have a good one. My kids were probably 8 and 10 years old. It was right before Christmas, and we were doing a charity drive for a place that's called a Christmas Box House. They provide emergency residential shelter for children who have been awarded to the state, whether, you know, their parents have passed away or been abused, whatever the case is, before they transition into foster care. And we were doing a huge charity drive, and my kids were going through all of their toys, and we were going to give some of their toys, and we were also going to go buy some toys. There's this one boy who we were kind of adopting that year for Christmas. You know how you can kind of choose a child that you can provide Christmas for them. Well, this little boy, his parents had died, and I guess he was staying at that place temporary until his family from back east could come and pick him up. Well, my son had just gotten his favorite, it was like a handheld toy. He got it for his birthday in June, and we were doing this in probably around the end of October, beginning of November, so he'd only had it a couple months. Loved it, never took it out of his hand. We were getting the box ready, and he was playing with it, and I could see him thinking, and he just kept staring down at it. And I think he was probably 10 or 11. He said, Mom, he said, do you think that those kids would like my toy? I said, oh no, sweetie, I don't know. I'm thinking, wait, do you really want to give away your toy? Like, you're only 10. Do you realize if you give it away, you're not going to get it back? Like, I said, whoa. I said, wait, honey. I said, now remember, if you give him that, you won't get it. You won't get it back. And he said, but Mama, I don't need it. I have a mom. He doesn't have a mom. And I was like, oh my gosh, he understands. And then my daughter says, hey Mom, well, I want to give him, will he like my American Doll baby? And she was like 8. And so my kids at that moment were willing to give up their most favorite toys to give to this little boy. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that Yeah, because I'm a very giving person, and if you can teach your children to be very giving, I have a lot of faults, but that is not one of them. And so I think it was one of those proud moments where I knew I had done a lot of things wrong as a parent, but that was one thing I was doing right. Navin Chillin also asked, what advice would you give to your younger self? Well, I would tell myself to not let people walk all over you. Tara, stop it. It has caused me a lot of heartache throughout my years. That is the one thing that I think has been the hardest for me is people take my kindness for weakness and they walk all over top of me. And my husband's can always see it coming a mile away, and he's trying to pull me back saying, Terry, you're going to get hurt. You're going to get hurt. But I don't listen. And I always end up getting hurt. He's always right. It is what it is. And I think if I could go back, that's what I would tell myself, is to be much stronger, still be very giving, but not let people use that against you. She also asked, do you truly believe in living life with no regrets? Or is there a moment in time that you wish you could redo? I'm not going to fool you guys. I could come on here and be very cliche and say, I don't believe in living life with regrets. They're just learning lessons and blah, blah, blah. There are absolutely things in life that I regret. Absolutely. And I think because I hold myself accountable for those regrets, because those were mistakes that I made, and instead of saying, oh, well, I believe everything happens for a reason and it made me the person I am today and yada, 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 I don't live in regret. But we do. We say that we don't, but we do, and we probably should in one sense, because there are things in my life that I regret and wish I could go back and do differently. And I think we all have those moments. And to say that I believe in living life with no regrets, no, because those regrets made me a better person and they made me stronger at the end of the day. So yeah, I have regrets. There's no doubt about that. I mean, that's just what it is. That's what life is. Now, I did have one of my sweet subscribers, Joyce. She doesn't have Twitter, and so she asked me this question on Snapchat, and I accidentally deleted it. Oh, that's one thing I don't like about Snapchat, is that you can't go back and look like you can on Instagram. But she asked me how I juggle YouTube and my family and being a wife and all of that. That was basically her question. Sticking to a schedule has been really, really good, and I know what I've got to get done during those days. And this has fulfilled my life, I think, more than anything I've ever done. I didn't really get on YouTube thinking that I wanted 1 million subscribers. Like I said in a video the other day, if I didn't grow 1 subscriber more of where I'm at, I would still be happy and fulfilled in this channel, because I needed that outlet. And especially with my kids getting older, you know, my kids are now teenagers and they don't need mom as much as they used to. And it was almost like I was kind of lost in limbo. And I know there's a lot of moms out there, you know exactly what I'm saying. When your kids are little, they survive on you. And then when they get to be teenagers, they don't need you as much. And then you're going, okay, now what do I do? Like, my kids don't need me anymore. This is weird. And I needed that outlet. And I needed to find my passion again, because being a mom, you kind of do lose some of your passions, some of your hobbies, all that stuff kind of just, yeah, slowly dwindles away because you're so focused on your children and so focused on your family. And for me, I think I had kind of lost myself in that, and I have found passion again. Since I started my channel, I have found a way to be passionate again, and I've really, really thoroughly enjoyed it. So for me, it's not a job, it's an outlet. My children and my husband have been extremely supportive. My kids are going to be gone soon. You know, my son will be gone next year for college, and I'm trying to be as present as I can when they are all here. So I think, you know, it's a balancing act, but fortunately for me, I do have a super supportive husband and super supportive kids, and they're really great. I'm very, very lucky. Okay, now Jessica Brown asked, if you could mandate 3 laws involving the makeup industry and the makeup companies had to comply, what would they be and why? Animal cruelty, and probably shade ranges for every skin tone. And I don't know. I want them to be cruelty free. I really, really want brands to take the plunge and really strive to be cruelty free, because I just, yeah, I'm like over that whole testing on animals stuff, and I just really wish that companies would no longer test on animals. That is one thing I am just like done with. Okay, so Rhonda on Instagram, she asked me this question. She said, do you ever compare yourself to what other YouTubers are doing on their makeup channels? And if so, how do you deal with that? Not really. And maybe I should, you know, maybe I should compare a little bit more, but I don't. I don't really relate to a lot of the really young YouTubers. I can't do my makeup the way they do. And the things that they like, I don't like, as far as, you know, certain products, I'm like, oh, that looks terrible on me, and they're raving about it. It's kind of a different dynamic. There are some YouTubers that I watch, but I don't really compare my channel to them. Maybe it's because I'm so new to YouTube. I mean, I've only been doing this 6 months, so maybe I'm so new to it that I don't feel like I'm in that comparison mode yet, but I really don't compare myself, and maybe I should. Maybe that's something that I probably need to work towards, creating better content for you guys, maybe keeping up with what they're doing, maybe? I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments down below how you guys feel about it. Do you think I should be, you know, kind of keeping up with what they're doing and comparing my channel and my content to them to make sure that I'm staying, you know, in line with what everybody else is doing? Or how do you guys feel about that? So that is my Get to Know Me part 2. In a couple months, we'll do part 3. At least this one, I didn't get emotional. I'm like happy about that. Whew. Now it's time to pick a winner of who I thought had the best question. And that is my hardest part, because normally when I do giveaways, I have a thing that picks the winner for me. This one, not so much. So I have to pick it. And I'm not gonna pick it based on the person. I'm gonna pick it based on the question. Oh, these are all good questions. I do think one of my favorite questions was, do you truly believe in living life with no regrets? Or is there a moment in time that you wish you could redo? And I think authentically, a lot of people say, oh no, I don't live with any regrets. That's just not realistic, and I'm not about being fake. So I do think that was probably one of my favorite questions. So yeah, Mayben Chillin', you're gonna be the winner. I'm gonna pick you, and you really, she actually asked me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different questions, and I couldn't answer all of them, but she really took the time to ask me all these really good questions, and I think I'm going to give it to her. So Mayben Chillin', you are the winner. Let me know which product you want, whether you want the KKW Beauty Mario Palette, the brush set from Laura Lee and Morphe, the collaborated, you know, Laura Lee's favorite brush set, or the Jeffree Star Blood Sugar Palette, the red one. So let me know which one you want. Congratulations. I love you to death. You have been a long-time subscriber, and I really, really love you. I love chit-chatting back and forth with you, and you're amazing. Thank you guys so much for participating in this fun little Get to Know Me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys have a fantastic week filled with love, happiness, and joy. And you guys, when I say that, I truly mean it from the bottom of my heart. I love you guys so much, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Love you. Bye.